Our video project is on graphing complex numbers by Chance and Jovan. The definition of a complex number is a number of the form a plus bi, where a and b are real numbers and I is the imaginary unit. This is a normal graph. It has an x and y axis, and this is a complex graph. It has an x and c axis. The difference between the y and the c axis is that the c axis has the imaginary unit after all the numbers, and the y axis does not. The x axis is all the real numbers, and the c axis is the imaginary axis. If we want to graph 2 plus 4i, it's a lot like 2, 4 in regular coordinates. So you'd go over 2 and up 4i. And if it was 2 minus 4i, you would just go to 2 negative 4. And at this point right here, we have 3 plus 2i.
Adding complex numbers is a lot like adding normal numbers. We just add it like this. We separate the numbers like so, and then we combine like terms. So here we have 2 plus 3 plus 4i plus 2i. And in the end, giving us 5 plus 6i, giving us the coordinate 5, 6i. Here we have a graph showing the equation x squared plus 1. If we were to solve for the 0, you'll see that the 0 of this function is imaginary. This is because we are taking the square root of a negative number. If we were to graph the solution to the previous problem, we would graph 0 plus or minus I because there was nothing being added to the I. So we'd go up 1 on the imaginary axis and down 1 on the imaginary axis. Now, let's work out a problem. Here, we have the function x squared plus 9. So, let's set it to 0. First, we'll subtract 9, leaving us with negative 9 equaling x squared. Then, we would square root both sides. But since 9 is a negative, it would now become an imaginary number down here. So, in the end, we take the normal root of 9 and then just add an I at the end. And we are making it plus or minus because we are square rooting it. Now, if we were to graph it, we would graph it as 0, 3i, or 0, negative 3i. So we would go up and down the complex axis, respectively. Now, let's solve another. The difference between this one and the last one is that we have a negative 2, another real number, in with the x. So, we're going to set it to 0 like we did last time. We're going to subtract 4, and we're going to take the square root of both sides. Since we're taking the square root of a negative number, just like last time, we're going to take the normal root and add an I at the end and make it positive or negative. Now, since we've gotten rid of the squared on this side, we can just add 2 to both sides and have an end value of 2 plus 2i equaling x. So, when we go to graph it, we would go over 2 on the real axis, and up 2 and down 2 on the complex axis, respectively.
Graphing complex numbers isn't as difficult as you might think. It's a lot like graphing normal numbers, only we're adding an I on the y-axis values and changing the y to a c. We hope you enjoyed our math project video.